Now, so we were looking at the internal component of the computer. We have want to remove the casing. So the casing is the purpose of the casing is to cover the machine. So for covering the computer, this machine can work without the casing, but it's for covering it to ensure that it is. We have said it also has ventilation. Look inside here, you find the ventilation of the machine, and we said that the modern machines mostly they use clips. You see the clips. Yeah, the other computers were using screwdrivers all the time. These clips. So when you have forward it, you find now. We are now looking at the internal components. The first thing I've said is the power supply. Power supply has two connections. One, these cables are going to the drives, and they have said this is the DVD. Now you can confirm whether it's a DVD drive or CD-ROM. So like this is a CD-ROM, it's a CD-ROM drive. That's how you check. But it can as well be a DVD, but you confirm from this. Yeah. Then I said DVD can read a CD and also a DVD. Yeah. This was CD-ROM. This one cannot read a DVD. This is the hard disk. This hard disk. This is the cable connecting the hard disk, and this is the floppy. All the computers used to have floppy. Modern ones don't have floppy. So if you open a modern computer, you find that they don't have floppy drive. So now these cables they are going to this drive. So that's the power supply unit. That's how we identify power supply. The next component we have is the memory. Can you unplug them one by one? You unplug it. You can look for this side like this. Unplug one by one. Remove that. That is yeah. When you're removing, you unplug like this. The clips are both sided. You remove like this, like that. So when you remove this, you unplug this, then both sided. Yes, that is the memory. So this is the memory of the computer. What do you call RAM? Random access. Can you check the size of the memory? It must supposed to be indicated. Look at this one. What is the size of that memory? 256 what? MB. Yeah. Yes, you check. There's a sticker indicating the size. This is 256 MB RAM. Yeah. What about this? 56. Yes. So memory is measured in bytes. Mm-hmm. So you can check the size of memory. The memory may vary in sizes. Like the machine we open in the morning, so like a bit smaller. The design, but all the same. That does not matter as long as so you check on the stick of the memory. Now I forgot to tell you something about the power supply. This is not repairable. It is normally not repairable. So it's something whenever it has a problem, mostly you find it in a Chomeka, so you don't repair this. Whenever it has a problem, you just move the entire and you replace with another one. This is so what is the work of the memory? Memory is used for is the temporary storage of information when the computer is processing information. That's the work of the RAM. Now, how do we install memory? When you want to install memory in the computer, we look at this. These are called apertures. This you have seen that. So I'm going to install one, install the next one, right? But these are called memory slots where we install the memory. Like this machine has some slots 1, 2, and 3. But sometimes you don't need to use all of them. It will depend on the size of memory module. Remember the machine we opened in the morning was having only one stick, but there's 4 modules. So that one is 8 GB. So that machine is powerful, even if there's only one and one. So you can install in any. So I want to install one. So what I do, I put it here. But you have to check this side, this angular aperture here. I put it here in the slot. We call it a memory slot. Once I confirm that it's aligning with that aperture, I press gently once end to lock automatically. I come and press this side. So isn't that? So there's no force. Very delicate thing we use. So I want you to demonstrate that. Can you do the next one? And you explain what you're doing. Explain how you're doing it.
So basically, I want to ensure that it fits in the slot. Looking at this,
the aperture.
The aperture. So I have to ensure that it fits well. It is fit, so press gently to ensure that it is locked.
Yes. So when you're installing, it's about to lock automatically. This clip will lock automatically on their own. Without you, so you place like this, one side, then the other side. You see that? So install the last one. This one has 4 modules. That's how we install the. Yes, that's how we install the RAM. Good. That's well done. See that? That's how you store memory. Simple as that. Very simple. So, when you're storing memory, there are precautions to be taken. One, whenever you're storing anything in the computer must be off. You know, remove the power. You don't store when the power is on. You can even damage the motherboard and even blow off the motherboard. So it must be disconnected. So that's the memory. Now, this is the motherboard. This is the electronic component. That's where all components are assembled. Motherboard has so many things. The electronic components. We shall not handle it at this point. We shall look at the motherboard electronic when it comes to module 3. We have what we call basic electronics. But basically, we are looking at the main component like this is the board. For assembling all the components done. Then we have this. This is where the processor is. And I want us, it's good to know where the processor is and how it looks like. So these clips, we remove them. I'm going to remove this clip, just like this. We lift it. So I call it this one clip. Right? I can also remove this clip like this. Remove that clip. Then can you lift this? Lift it, yes. Now look at this. Can you remove this? This is the processor. And how do I on a processor? Let me show you how a processor looks like. I want to show you even our viewers. Remove this, it may stick. And I'll show you, I'll tell you why it may stick. Show to our viewers the processor. Point to the camera. Onyesha kwamba hii ndio processor ya computer.
And this is the processor of the computer.
Yes, this is the brain of the computer. This one is the one that processes everything. And the reason why it was sticking here, you noted there's something here. It looks like what? It looks like paste, eh? Yeah. It looks like a toothpaste. Your Colgate, eh? So this paste is normally put here. Is a mechanism of cooling the processor. You know when a computer is working, this is the brain of the computer. When the computer is working, processing takes place here. When it's working, it becomes very hot. So this paste normally melts in a melt. Wakati na computer inachemka, it will melt that paste. Ili inakuwa maji. By kuwa maji, na cool the processor automatically. That's why you see it was sticking here. But when you're putting it, it's normally in powder form like a paste. But when the computer is working, it normally melts, it will melt down and it becomes like a liquid. This one also has a mabati. This is mabati. This one is called heat sink. This heat sink is made up of material that it's a good absorber of heat. It's also for cooling the processor. Still, the processor has a fan here. There's a fan you've seen there. This fan is for cooling the processor. So processor has three mechanisms of cooling. Number one is
Cooling paste.
the cooling paste. Number two,
The fan.
the fan. Number three,
It's metallic.
yes, this heat sink. It's called a heat sink. Those are the mechanisms for cooling the processor. Now, what happens when a processor overheats? This is how it happens. When you want to know that your computer is overheating, the computer will automatically shut down on its own. Yes. Whenever you just restart, close it off, it means this thing has been. So kisha jamka don't have machine kizima na hujazima. That's how the computer is designed to work. If it overheats, it will just go off without kizima. So the machine has to cool very well. This is the processor. Now you can have it. So the processor is this is the processor slot or processor socket. This is where the processor is installed. So some people call this one. So this is what we call the CPU. CPU of the computer. So CPU is this one. So some people call this one CPU. So this is not the CPU. What is the name of this? What do we call it? The entire system. It's called what? The system unit. So this is the system unit. This is the processor. So don't call this one CPU again. This is the CPU. This is the brain of the computer. Are you getting the point? Good. So yeah, this is the fan. This is the slot where we put it. So this is the processor slot where we put the processor. That okay? Yeah. We are disassembling the computer. Tunataka kuonyesha ndani computer inakaanga tu. Kuna watu hawajui computer inakaanga ndani. Wanatumianga tu. So today is a day showing you how it looks like. Now, let me do this way. Here we have a very important component. We call it the hard disk. This is where the information is stored. Jago yote unafanya kwa computer inawekwa hapa. Hii ni hard disk. This is the hard disk. You can see the size of your hard disk. Can you read the size? It's indicated in terms of GB. Ni ngapi? What is the size? Can you see? It's written
20 GB.
Eh?
20.
Where? Yes, it's indicated 20 GB. So that's it's a very old hard disk. So that's why the size is small. This is the 20 GB hard disk. Nowadays we have even hard disk up to 1 terabyte. This is for purpose of learning in Dogosan. So this is the hard disk. This one is, what is the name of this? Hii name inaitwa Now you need to be sure, you confirm. It's indicated here. You can confirm. It's written here. This is a CD-ROM. Now how do you differentiate between a CD-ROM and a DVD-ROM? How do you differentiate between a CD-ROM and a DVD-ROM?
A CD-ROM cannot read a DVD.
That is logical, physically. No, that's a logical difference. Physical difference. How do you differentiate? How do you differentiate in DVD and in CD? Not physically.
Physical.
Simple. It is indicated. You normally have a sticker. Look at this sticker. It's written what? CD-ROM drive. So it's not a matter of guesswork. It's very difficult to differentiate it physically. Because actually, in terms of appearance, it looks the same. If you remove this sticker here, you can, even me, I cannot tell what is a DVD-ROM or. There's no magic of knowing it unless you connect it to the computer. But that one is logical. So physically, you can identify the need by looking at the sticker. So don't remove stickers on the hardware. Those stickers were put by the people who repair the machine. I get the point. So we have looked at the DVD-ROM, the CD-ROM, and we also looked at the hard disk. So this is a floppy drive. All computers used to have floppy drive. Nowadays we don't have floppy drives, but it's good to know for purpose of learning. Now tunasema all is gold. Kuna watu bado wanatumia manual vehicles wanasema all is gold. So sema ni fine. As a technician, it is good to learn how to repair both the automatic and the right getting. Yes, we could have some manual gari is because so this machine has a floppy drive. Kuna watu wajawa na diskette. All computers used to have diskette. So diskette used to be inside here. Diskette ilikuwa naweka na pande hii. Kalikuwa na kitu ya plastic, kulikuwa na slot ndani hapa ndani as for storing information. So this is a map for purpose of showing it to our viewers. Let me just leave the machine. One where we put the floppy. Floppy ilikuwa naweka hapa. It was a plastic stuff you could put here to store information. The way we slot in a flash disk, we used to slot in this part, floppy drive, floppy disk. We used to call it diskette. Lakini ilikuwa ndogo sana, ilikuwa 1.44 MB. So kama nataka ku store your file, you are required to carry around 20 in your pocket. We're only storing a file of 10 MB. Ilikuwa 1.44 MB. Nowadays, most computers don't have floppy because it has been outdated. But it's good, as I said earlier, now the matter of all is gold. It's good to know that. So that's a floppy disk drive. Yes. Then when you go inside the computer, you find there's something here. I want to show you. There's a battery here. In a Kagama battery, yes, sir. Are you seeing that battery? This battery is a small battery. It's a cathode battery. This one. It's known as the CMOS battery. This is the one that maintains the settings of the computer. Something like time, date is maintained by that battery. That's why I estimate for computer haja look at time. Maana inatumia hiyo battery. Inaitwa nini? This CMOS battery can last up to 5 years or 10 years. So that. Then we have this black stuff here. This thing black is called heatsink. If you're keen enough, you'll notice that there's similarities with this one. See this? Yeah. In here, this for the processor. So the computer has two heatsinks. One for the motherboard and another one for the processor. So this is for cooling the motherboard. This is for cooling the CPU. The processor. So, there's something on the motherboard here. So on the motherboard here. This one, you see, this is it is slotted in another something like look like a memory slot, but this is not a memory slot. You see, it's called an expansion slot. This is like a graphic adapter. This was a graphic adapter. So that's the purpose of this, to ensure the computer can be able to support the graphics. So all computers used to have this slot. Some people could even buy a TV card or a radio card, an FM card to activate a computer that can radio or TV. Before internet times, now they don't need it because you can stream your radio live. But all computers used to have a slot. You could put a graphic card, a TV card, or radio card. Then, yes, that's not the main components of the computer. Lastly, the electronic components, the capacitors, the ICs, the transistors, the transformers. We shall not look at that because that is under computer electronics. So we'll be looking at that in our next lesson in Module 3. That's our lesson for today. And thank you so much.